Hey guys, Ashton again. It's been a hot second. Our last session was held during homecoming, so it's been a very hectic week, and then we had midterms afterwards. So sorry that this video is so late, but the last session that we just talked about for Women's Leadership Institute is living authentically. We talked about how living authentically is really the core principle to the Athena leadership model, because without that you can try and refine the other principles, but you do not have a solid foundation without that. Okay, so in that first session, we basically introduced the principle. We talked about what we think it means to be an authentic leader. We talked about characteristics that we see in leaders that we see on a daily basis, or maybe not on a daily basis, maybe people you just look up to, and those characteristics that you see in them that you think makes them true to themselves and are authentic. We then also had a sort of activity where we talked about how being your authentic self isn't going to come overnight, and that you need to refine yourself and become polished. And they made us take stones out of a bag. This is mine. See? It has a really cool gray streak through it. Can't really see it too well on the camera, and it was basically just to represent our journey on becoming refined leaders and polishing ourselves and live authentically. And that was pretty much the end of the first session. It was in the session that we talked about Tamara Woodbury, who the Athena model uses to represent being your authentic self and sticking with your gut feelings, even in the face of unpopular opinion, which is something that makes this principle very difficult to uphold all the time because of outside pressures to not always go with what you believe in specifically. After we talked about her, we did an exercise, which is basically just putting down real life scenarios where we need to be authentic to our choices. Well, we need to stand by our choices and be authentic to ourselves, even if it's not always the easiest thing to do. So some of the biggest takeaways that I got from this section were being true to yourself is always the best choice in a situation, and it's okay to step out of your comfort zone and to trust your gut, because it's always going to work out in the end. I think Delstein, who helped facilitate the discussion this time around, said it best.
Trusting your gut. I can tell you this to be true. Your body never lies to you. People will lie to you. The IRS might lie to you. There might be people who lie to you, but your body never lies to you. So when you have that gut instinct, whatever that says first, always trust that no matter what.
Well, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.